So, Caro Emerald, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
So, have you been in London long?
No, I arrived yesterday. I'm
Yep.
going to stay here for a couple of days. Yeah.
So, have you got much planned while you're over here? Bit of promotional stuff, bit of shopping? Living up
Well, the
London
shopping
life?
always. If I have time. This time I'm very lucky. I have a lot of promotional stuff to do, activities. I was on the This Morning show this
Nice.
morning. And now tomorrow and the day after I'm free. So
Brilliant.
I can actually
So
do
that's
some
where
fun stuff.
the shopping comes into it.
The shopping, and I'll be doing some touring, seeing the sights of London.
I'm assuming you've been here before.
I have,
been
yeah,
over
a
here,
couple
yeah?
of times, yeah.
How did they go? Was that for just holidays or promoting?
No, that was for
promoting the record?
promotion.
Yeah.
I never got here for a holiday, so this is actually a very good situation for me, you know.
Sort of part and parcel.
Yeah.
So your record, Deleted Scenes from the Cutting Room Floor, that you released over here in October last year.
Yeah.
It came out quite considerably earlier back in your hometown. Why was there such a gap between
Well,
releasing it
because
over in the UK?
that's a good question. Because for Dutch artists, it's already like a miracle to break in Holland.
Yeah.
So, and if you do, and people are even interested outside of Holland, that's already a really, really big step forward. So, we actually tried to do that in Holland first, and I'm still very flattered that we have so much good response internationally. But we didn't know up front, you know, we just
Yeah.
tried.
So has the reception been good? Have you?
Everywhere it's been
Yeah.
great. It's been great. Yes.
Because the album actually spent a record 30 weeks, was it? In
Yes.
number one.
It has.
And topping Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty chuffed with that.
I'm sorry, guys. You're really, really distracting me. Jongens, dit is echt heel afleidend. Oké. Maar je kunt wel, maar dan moet je daar gaan zitten, want je zit echt in mijn ogen. Oké, sorry.
We can edit
Sorry
that.
about
That's
that.
absolutely fine. So your record, Deleted Scenes from the Cutting Room Floor, spent 30 weeks
Yeah.
at number one.
It did.
And it beat Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Well, you know, it's quite weird when you just start. You don't know anything about chart positions or how the music industry works. What is normal? I didn't know what was normal, you know. Every week, the album enters at one. Everybody goes like, oh, something's happening. I don't know. You know, I'm going like, okay, that's probably quite good. And it stays on number one. And then there's the longest debut album for 8 weeks on number one, stuff like that. So we already broke a few of those records before Michael Jackson. And, you know, it struck me, I think after about 15 weeks, I thought, okay, this is probably very, very, very special, you know, very special situation. So once we broke that record, that was just, I don't know, I didn't know how to, I still don't know. I mean,
It must be quite hard to comprehend.
really, yeah, it is. And it's been a long time ago because it was last summer. But still, it feels, you know, the more I hear it, every time I go like, yeah, that's true. But it's so amazing. It's because I was 2 years old when that record was set. So it took 27 years to break it. And it was me who broke it.
That's got to be, I mean, you sort of think of the things that people can brag about. That's got to be something, you know, hi, I'm Caro, you know, 30 weeks. You know, that's got to, you know,
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah, it does feel like that. Although I'm also a little bit afraid that somebody else will break it now. Somebody like Adele, for instance, because she's been way up there in Holland as well for a couple of weeks now.
So mentioning,
you know.
mentioning other artists, who have you got your finger on at the moment? What sort of acts do you listen to?
Well,
Who
Adele
inspires
is
you?
one of them. I really love her voice. I mainly love UK artists, apparently, when I start thinking about it. But well, I've been listening to James Morrison, for instance. Love his voice. I've been listening to Duffy, to Jamie Liddell, to Amy Winehouse. That sort of music, and I also obviously listen to old music.
Because I was going to say, the record is quite swing. It's got a lot of Caribbean flavours in it. you know, there's a lot going on and it's very orchestral and big band.
Yeah.
Who inspired that? Was
Who?
that something that, you know, were those influences growing up?
No, not at all.
No?
You would think that, wouldn't you? No, I was brought up with only classical music, so this was actually a coincidence. I did study jazz, so I got to listen to all the great jazz legends before, and I'm very experienced in big band music and stuff like that. So that comes quite natural to me, but I do listen to a lot of different styles of music, funky music, soul music, pop music. That is what I like, and also jazz music. But the reason that we made this album inspired by the 40s and 50s was actually because the producers that I work with, they really love it. And they had made a song called Back It Up, which has a very cool mix between hip hop and beat-based pop music.
Yep.
And old jazz. So, and I really loved the song. They asked me to do the demo vocals. And I heard the song and I was like, okay, boom, this is the kind of music that I want to make. I really loved that crossover sound it had, and once we decided to work together and to release a song with my voice, we decided to make an album filled with the same sound, you know. That was a great direction to start with. So that is actually how we started, and then the guys really inspired me to go into this direction because they had listened to a lot of old vinyl records. You know, the dad of one of the songwriters has a basement filled with records, with old records. So it was quite fun. It was like an investigation as well as a creative process.
So a realization that you loved all of these different genres and...
Yeah, it's really nice because what we did, it may not always sound like that, but what we did is we took a lot of elements out of old music. We kind of borrowed the sound and tried to puzzle it into something new. You know, because we always start with producing the beats first. So you have a loop, like for 4 bars, there's a loop with just a little bit, like salt and pepper, you know, out of the 40s and 50s, and then you start building on that. And then it becomes more and more, and then suddenly it's like a pop song based on beats, based on 40s and 50s. It's really, I think it's a crazy mix.
And you can actually hear that because it shows that you're quite a versatile vocalist, and you know,
oh, thanks. I hope so.
You sort of put so much into the record that, you know, listeners get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
I know I do.
But I used to sing a lot of jazz, and later on I focused more on pop. So, and I really love that mix. I don't think I could ever really be a jazz singer. I just love the mix so much, you know, and this is, for me, it's the perfect situation.
So you've gone from sort of obscurity into this big star back home, and now you're crossing the borders into all these different markets. How has that been for you? Do you find it difficult to tackle different markets like the UK?
Well, to me, it's just one big trip, you know. It's like we have assigned with different labels in every country. So it's very exciting to meet a new team every time, and they know how to handle it. And what struck me the most about going international is that the response to the music is basically the same everywhere. They go like, okay, how come a young girl like your age makes music like this? And how did you how did you discover this sound? Why did you start making this music? They're all like, oh, it's very cheery. I like to listen to the whole album and repeatedly. Sorry. Yep. So the responses are about the same. Everybody gets really cheered up by the music.
So the videos as well, I just want to touch briefly on that, because the videos of all the singles that you've released so far, they're all very colourful and very Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you have much of a say in that? Do you like to throw your input and say, look, this is how I want to...
No, well, the fun about this whole project is that it's really started in our living room, if you can say so. We just decided to make an album together. We didn't have any money, we didn't have a record label. We made the album, we figured out the style of it, the whole look of it ourselves. It was just me and the 2 producers. We thought of that, and the guys that I work with, they're extremely talented and creative, and they have many great ideas. We made we started a record label ourselves. So we started everything ourselves. And sorry, I just suddenly don't remember what the question was.
The videos and the
videos.
Hollywood
Sorry,
aspect
I
of
was
it.
I was going. Sorry, it's been a long day. I'm sorry. But that was mainly the ideas of ourselves. You know, we really wanted to give it a good look.
Yeah.
You know, you have to fit your look to the music, and that's what we tried. And we tried to work with lots of different people who are very creative. We wanted to have people with a vision. You know, not just any other video, because you can, you know, hire some really good-looking guys and have them dancing around, but that is boring, I think. So we
There's a
wanted
lot
to
of
do
that
something
out there
new.
at the moment, so it's a little bit different, your videos.
Yeah, we really try to make something new.
So will we get to see you live? Are we going to get to see you promote the
I hope
record
so.
over here? Yeah.
There's no dates yet planned, but right now we're in the middle of the promotion, and we have to see where it leads, because you know you have to be flexible in your plans. So for right now, that's it, and we have some festivals planned in Europe, not right now in the UK, and some in Holland, but I wouldn't be surprised if we would do an English festival as well, if it's still possible. And later on this year, we'll try to do a European tour. So
we hope so.
Yeah, we might come here.
I'd
love to. I'd love to.
So last question: what's next? What have you got on your schedule next?
This is actually what our schedule is. I think when we're done promoting in Europe and we're able to do some shows, I think we might go on to the second album, because Holland has been ready for that for quite some time now, and I'm ready for it because I've been singing the same songs for 1.5 years now. So
might be nice to go on to something a little bit more fresh for you.
Yeah, for me, it's good to feed my musical soul. So right now we're writing new songs, and I'm really looking forward to go back into the studio.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.